Well, let's clean off this lens, like always. So, I was on another channel. Um, every once in a while, something vegan will pop up on my stream because I often go to the vegan stuff just to kind of communicate and stuff. I used to go to start trouble, but I realized, you know what, it ain't even worth it. And I've kind of grown past that over the few years that I've been on social media. But there's this vegan Humane Hanncock. I think that's his handle, if I'm even saying it right. Um, he basically created this fictitious image of a carnivore, contacted Svetich, and basically convinced him that he wanted Svetich to let him into the kind of carnivore rally, breaking up the vegan demonstration, stuff like that. And he basically went to, he actually went on Skyped Svetich, and he said, I want to see you eat some kind of meat. What ended up happening is he went to Burger King and got a burger, no meat on it at all. He stopped at a local grocery store, some kind of grocery store, and got a Beyond the Burger vegan hamburger looking deal. Cooked it up, put it on the burger, wrapped it all back up, and then went on Skype and basically showed himself eating this burger. And that was convincing enough for him in the eyes of Svetich. So he conned himself into this group, got some information of where they're going to be located, filmed the whole entire thing, showed up, and then immediately just went right into like vegan attack mode, like asking questions right away. Do you think what you're doing is right? And when you see the group of guys that were here, none of them were disrespectful. They were all talking very calmly. None of them were raising their voice. One guy kind of got a little emotional because he said, do you understand what you're doing here? Do you understand that my health, my life was on the line? And throughout this conversation that they were having, you can hear this guy say, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Your anecdotal evidence doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care. There's no science. There's no science that shows what you're saying is true. Just because it affected you doesn't mean that you should be doing it. Well, if somebody's telling you, like me, for instance, where I got a mobile dysentery in Iraq, and I actually destroyed my digestive system with this bacteria infection that lingers. Sometimes it doesn't go away. Sometimes you can have flare-ups, and it's a part of you for a long period of time. You're hoping going through life that it will eventually go away. Now, as a soldier in the United States military, you don't think about stuff like that. You do your job. You continue mission, you do your job, you suck it up, and that's just how we function. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for sewage breaks all over the place in Iraq. I didn't ask to be put in the situation that I was in. I didn't ask for those health conditions, but I have to live with that for the rest of my life. And even after I went keto helped me lose a ton of weight to begin with, don't get me wrong. But even after I went keto, I was still having digestion issues. It wasn't fixed completely with keto. Keto was my answer for everything, but something was still wrong. In 2017, on Facebook, you guys seen that I was in the hospital. I took pictures of me in my gown, in the hospital, them running all these labs and stuff like that. They're like, you know what? We don't know what this blood in your stool is. We don't know what this blood that you're throwing up. We don't know what's causing you to basically pass out on the floor. And I wake up with something feeling like it's going to crawl out of my stomach, literally rip through my intestinal, or my stomach wall to come out. And it's painful. In tears as a big old giant, power lifter on the floor crying like a baby because something inside you feels like it's like you're giving birth to something. And that's not normal. And when I went through these trials, they said, it's like an extreme form of colitis. It's like an extreme form of diverticulitis. Something is really wrong with you, and we don't know exactly how to treat it right now, so we're going to treat it like colitis. Well, one of the main ways that carnivores or even keto people would treat something like colitis or diverticulitis is by cutting the fiber out. So when you reduce all the fiber, a lot of the inflammatory action goes away, and you actually experience some relief. You can actually start to live your life a little bit and not feel that pain all the time. So when somebody says, this is what's going on with me and this is what's relieving my pain, and the doctor looks at you and says, you know what, if you're finding something that works, in the medical industry and even in science, we don't understand everything. If you find something that works for you, please don't stop doing it. A lot of times it's a shot in the dark when it comes to these severe conditions like this because we can't pinpoint what it is. If something is bothering you to the point where it's disabling you, and you can quit doing it and find something else that works and gives you a better quality of life, science gets thrown out of the window at that point. Medical professionals will tell you if what we're doing is not helping you and you find something by accident, by trial and error, please tell us so we can document it, so we can know what's going on, so we know exactly how to help you. But this man is in this video telling them he doesn't care. He doesn't care what they have to say. The anecdotal evidence that they're putting forth saying, look, my life, I'm living a better quality of life right now because I'm making the choices that I make. I'm eating animal products. I'm not abusing them. I'm not wasting it. I'm not throwing the stuff out. I'm cooking food to eat to live a sustainable life. For you to be dogmatic and tell me that I should not live my life like that, and for you to stand there and say, I don't care about your life, I don't care what you have to say, that's anecdotal evidence. How can you sit there as a vegan and say, I care about stuff, I don't want hurt and suffering and pain in the world? If I reduce something that I'm putting in my body to make my quality of life better, how could you literally be a respectful human being or a man in that manner and live a quality life and try to stand up for other people that are out there and say, I'm a vegan, I fight for animal rights, I don't want suffering and stuff like that, but you would rather a human being suffer because you don't care? This is what this guy was saying. And people were presenting facts to him. Svetiage brought up the fact that why are these vegan babies dying? Why are there news articles and stuff like that about these parents that are getting prosecuted because their child died? Why are we even attempting something like this that's not even natural? He brought up the fact that vitamin A deficiency. Do you know that there are a certain amount of processes that have to go through in the body when you consume sweet potatoes and things like that that may have some kind of vitamin A in it? Broccoli, I think, is another one. But they're not even the top foods in the world that have bioavailable vitamin A. You have to go through a step-by-step conversion process just for vitamin A to work in that. And then you're cooking it on top of that in a non-bioavailable form. And now you're losing even more vitamin A. So to stand there and try to defend why you can get vitamin A from vegetables and you shouldn't be getting it from meat is absolutely absurd. You're already eating something in an animal-based form that your body's ready to use. It's ready to go ahead and go through a digestion mode, uptake those vitamins, do what it has to do with them. When you eat vitamin A through vegetables, it does not happen that way. It has to go through a conversion process, and then cooking it on top of that, you're losing even more. So to say that it's natural, that you can get plenty of vitamin A from vegetables and acting like there's no difference, it's absolutely absurd. I don't know how many times I've seen these guys in this video be completely respectful to this vegan, but he wanted to keep raising his voice and cutting them off and talking over them and over again. If you're a vegan and you watch this video and you're this type of person, you should just change your name. I mean, you should just change the qualification that you fit in. I've met plenty of very nice vegans that say, look, I'm in it for the animals. I don't push my life on you, and I respect the fact that you're doing what you do for your health. I wish you wouldn't do that, but if you are 100% being truthful and honest that you're eating animal products because this is what makes you feel good, this is what makes your health good, this is what gives you a better quality of life, I cannot ask you to stop doing that, and I won't force my beliefs on you in the presence of that. But if you're saying, oh, I just have animal products, and you won't make an attempt to try something else, again, that is your choice. I would ask you to try and see. Those are respectful vegans. Those are vegans that don't push their agenda on everybody else, and they make a presence based on living the life, being an example of what they believe in, and acting in that manner. These vegans that want to go out here and try to force their agenda on everybody else, they try to force this is what you should be, this is what you should be doing, this is what, I don't care what your life is. These are all things that I heard over and over again in this video. And it seemed like there was no reasoning with them at all. And it almost infuriates me to the point where I look at this as, if you're vegan, I don't care if you're vegan. Be a vegan. Do what you do. I'm not going to tell you to stop being vegan. That's your life. That's your choice. If you want to eat all the crappiest standard American Western diet food, do it. That's your life. That's your choice. You live it that way. If you want to be a carnivore, be a carnivore. I don't care what you do. But if you actually look at the top foods in the entire world, where our vitamins come from, where our bioavailable forms come from, they are not from plants. Just do a standard Google search and type in bioavailable vitamin A foods. And almost every single top food is going to be something from the animal kingdom. Why would I put anything less than the best quality food in my body? And if it came from animals, then why not eat it? That's what they're here for, right? I've had so many vegans try to argue with me. They get into religion and things like that, and they lose. They lose horribly. That's not what any religion says anywhere. It doesn't say don't eat animals. It says be respectful to people that are around you. If they're uncomfortable with you eating animals, maybe don't do it blatantly in front of them to make them feel uncomfortable, but that also does not mean that you should not do it because they feel uncomfortable. This battle's lost every single time there. And then when we get down to ethics and stuff, where does ethics trump me losing my life or living a lower quality of life because I'm trying to sustain some ideology that somebody else created that they want to live? Because you do it doesn't mean that I should do it, and because you believe it doesn't mean that I should believe it. This man clearly states in so many ways, I want you to die. I want you to live a horrible quality of life because you're telling me right now that you know without a shadow of a doubt, it's anecdotal evidence, but you've figured it out that animal products make you feel substantially better and give you a better quality of life. And if I want you to cut them out of your life completely. I want you to die just like these babies die when they're deficient and their mothers try to raise them, their fathers try to raise them on these vegan diets. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't know how many vegans that I've tried to help that you can almost see through their teeth. The mineral base and everything like that, their teeth are so clear. The skin conditions are all over the place. The acne and the eczema and stuff like that's out of control. I don't know how many vegans that we watch on a daily basis on these channels out here in social media land that have to put on so much makeup and other things to hide what they actually look like. Goji Man has sat in dark rooms for so long, far away from the camera so you can't exactly see what's going on. He's called his skin conditions and stuff other things that are not related to a vegan diet, which they clearly are. The vegans that have went to carnivore, if you look close enough, you screenshot there and then zoom in on it, you can see all the pigmentation, discoloration around their mouth and stuff like that. You can almost see this milky white color of their skin that's not even natural. They don't have color to their skin and stuff like that. The women, they look great, but they almost look like like a marshmallow. Like you can almost take your finger and poke right through their skin or grab their skin or something like that and almost push your fingers right through it. Or they have this kind of bloated look, this puffy look all over their body. I don't get how we're supposed to do what somebody else wants us to do because that's their quality of life. And then to con your way into a carnivore circle and lie about it I mean, how much more sinful can you be than that? You went into these people's lives and you did something in their life and you conned your way into it and you make yourself look like more of a shitbag. I mean, there was a vegan that responded to my comment saying, man, this is really disingenuous of you. You lied. You did the complete wrong thing here. You couldn't attack it like a man. You didn't want to go to Svetij and talk to him directly. You made it seem like you were a carnivore. You basically you hid your identity and stuff of who you were, not true to the vegan form in any case, and you weaseled your way into their circle, and then you caused a little bit of some turmoil and was very disrespectful in the process of doing it. And she even replied to my comment and said, you know what, I agree. There was nothing, she said, I am a vegan, and there was nothing honorable about what he did here. This was not a proactive move at all, and it was not admirable of him to do that. And that's not something that a vegan would do. A true, very nice, very calm vegan that's all about quality of life, no suffering and stuff like that, would not act like that. They get their message out, they educate, they say why they hold their ground the way they hold their ground, and they move on about it. They're not out here disrupting people's lives, stopping people from doing certain things. They're not the next proactive Joey Carbstrong of the world that wants to be involved in everybody's face. That Joey gets involved in a lot of people's businesses. And I don't know if some of the stuff that he's doing, I'm surprised he hasn't been shot already with the videos and stuff like that he shows sneaking into people's farms and businesses and stuff like that and getting involved in things pretty deeply that he should not be involved in. I'm surprised that one day one of these vegans don't break into somebody's property or on somebody's farm or something like that, and something bad does not happen. That's crazy. I mean, I could never hurt somebody because of that. But there are people out there that don't want you intervening with their quality of life, and they will do something about it. And it's getting extreme. It seems like the smaller vegan channels are trying to catch up to the bigger vegan channels, and they're trying to one-up them. They're trying to create this extreme content so they can get up to that point. And a lot of it's in the carnivore circle as well. You got small carnivores and keto people that are trying to one-up the bigger carnivore and keto people. It's like this vicious cycle that keeps happening. You got the small carnivore keto people that are talking trash about the really, really big ones, and you get this little drama and this stir circled up, and then all of a sudden they get the subscriber content increase. It's a vicious cycle. But what I don't like to see is vegans like this Hanncock guy that did what he did in a very, very distasteful way. And, you know, it's just like that skinny, what was that, skinny runner vegan or something like that went to an Indian school, stood in front of a auditorium full of 8 to 12-year-old boys, maybe even younger. They could have been like, I don't know, it could have been 7 to 12 or even 6 to 12-year-old boys or something like that, and stood in front of them and put pictures of animals on the screen and baited them the entire process. How could a school allow that to happen? You know, how could a school allow him to put all these cute pictures and stuff up across the screen as they were going, and then say, oh, that's a dog? You know, in the beginning he says, how many people eat chicken? And they raise their hand. Oh, we eat chicken. How many people eat beef? Oh, we eat beef. See the pretty dog? Isn't this dog your friend? Yes, that dog's my friend. And then everybody raises their hands and they're ooh and on and everything else because it's a cute doggy. Oh, look at this cute little chickie. And they petting the chickie and stuff like that. Look at the cute little chickie here. Isn't the chickie cute? Isn't he your friend? Oh, yeah, he's my friend. Well, look at the cow here, and he's laying with the cow and everything. Or he's being sweet, something to that extent. Isn't the cow's your friend, huh? Oh, yeah, the cow's my friend. Everybody raises their hand. Oh, yeah, the cow's my friend. Well, then he goes to another screen and says, would any of you eat the doggy? No, that's our friend. Bait, bait, bait. What a crappy thing for them to do. And now this auditorium full of kids have this in their head. The next slide, go to the chick. Well, are you going to eat the chick? The chicklet? No, that's our friend. Well, then you eat chicken. What do you mean? I mean, what a crappy thing to do. And then an auditorium full of children that don't know any better. We're talking about gullible children that haven't experienced anything in life yet. This school let this guy come in there and bait this whole entire auditorium full of children and make them feel bad about the choices that they make with their parents. That is not their position to do that. That is between the parents and the child. That has no business in school. That has no business with this vegan coming and destroying the minds of these children in a short amount of time. And then they have to go home and their parents have to answer to why this guy did this. And he doesn't have to be accountable for it. And then when you look in the comment section of everything that's going on, you see all these vegans giving him props for what he did. How extreme do you have to go to prove a point? How extreme do you have to go to live a quality of life where you're not forcing yourself in other people's lives? Vegans like that want you dead. They want you dead because they don't care what you have to say. In my opinion, anecdotal evidence coming from somebody that really structures their life about trying to figure out where their health is going is the most damn important evidence out there. If I can see you living, breathing, your labs are fine, you're living a better quality of life, that is the most important anecdotal evidence. It is by far the elite to me when it comes to it. It is the top when somebody can say, I'm eating this, I'm eating this, I'm eating this, but when I eat that, I don't feel very good. Okay, when I eat this here, I noticed that I ate this last month and now I all of a sudden have my labs and they're different than they were 6 months ago. So I know I can't eat like this. It's not agreeing with me. I go back to clean eating again and a year later, all of a sudden my labs are this way. Or they pay attention to the foods that make them feel a certain way. They eliminate all the junk and they slowly figure out what's going on, how their body likes to react to certain things. Those people are smart. Those people are the real scientists. Those people know exactly what's going on with their body, their focus on life, and exactly what to do. I mean, if we could all be like that, we wouldn't have the problems that we have today. But according to Mr. Hanncock, Mr. Vegan, I don't care, anecdotal evidence doesn't mean anything to him. Because it doesn't say it on a scientific piece of paper, throw it out the window, it doesn't mean a damn thing to him. That's what he said. I don't care what you say about your life. I don't care about your anecdotal evidence. It doesn't mean anything to me. Well, then you're going to be very unhappy for a very, very long time, because more people are starting to take their health and their situations into their own hands because the doctors are not fixing it. So the more they take things into their own hands and they fix the stuff themselves, the more they're realizing, I'm healing better on my own than going to some doctor and paying for all this stuff and these pills and taking all this. I'm doing this on my own. Why would I go back to that person if I'm fixing the very thing that's wrong with me through just good quality whole food? Not plant-based, but just good quality whole food. This is my response to Mr. Hanncock and his snake-like ways where he snuck into the carnivore circle, pretended to be a carnivore, came out as a snake vegan, and decided that he wanted to tell everybody that was in the circle talking about things that he didn't care about what they had to say. That animal doesn't need to die, but all of you can die, just not that animal. That's basically what the message was. Anyhow, that's my review of what happened. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below and in the comment section below so you guys can check it out for yourself. I would appreciate it if you would watch the video, keep an open mind. Don't say anything bad to the guy, but speak your mind. If you don't like what he did, speak your mind. Don't curse him out or anything like that. Just say what you got to say.